Hello, collective. My name is Maxine Simone, and welcome to The Void. I'm here to share a timeless collective message with you. And I was just having such a hard time going to sleep. I'm not even sitting at my desk with my cards. I just have my old faithful tarot deck with me in my bed, and the channeled song is "World on Fire" by Slash, and that is like a very powerful song, actually, if you listen to the lyrics. And we have Temperance, Three of Cups in reverse, Seven of Cups, Three of Pentacles, Two of Pentacles, the Lovers in reverse, Chariot, and the Knight of Pentacles. And I know that may sound like a different language if you're not familiar with tarot, but I really feel like this is a very clear message about, especially paired with the lyrics, that Spirit is asking you to do your part and to surrender, especially face the fear of feeling like you're being rejected when really something is being cleared out of your life. People are being cleared out of your life. I won't say bad, but unrequited love is being cleared out of your life. And you may be feeling quite confused because you're like, what the fuck is going on? Like it's all of a sudden like something is just being cleared out. But they're asking you to move forward intentionally and quickly and not look back. With the Two of Pentacles kind of sitting on top of the Three of Pentacles, it's telling me that there are going to be connections or there's going to be support around you that comes in. And it's going to be tangible to help you with, I feel like, soothing that part of you that may feel like you're being rejected. Because when we have the Three and the Two, that's Five of Pentacles, and that's feeling like lack or feeling left out. But I don't feel like you're being left out. They're asking you to be intentional with who you connect with. I do see the Three of Swords on the bottom of the deck as I'm shuffling, and I think that this is helping you to, on a like zoomed out perspective, you are clearing out density in the heart space where you still hold heartbreak, where there could be connections that were attracted to you and from that frequency, from that density. And so when you are walking this path and you're learning how to surrender and detach, this is kind of forced, but I think that there's still, with the Two of Pentacles here, there's something about you're still grounded within it. It's not like you're being knocked off your path. Your path is actually being cleared. And I feel like there are parts of you that you might find yourself being angry. And then I would say that a lot of the times I find that anger is a mask for disappointment, or it's like an emotion that covers or tries to hide disappointment or sadness, and Spirit is wanting you to get to the root of it. You can also feel angry, you can feel disappointed, but continue to move forward and actually connect the dots to where that original wound is so that you can close that out and really heal that point of attraction within your field. I feel like there's definitely something about unrequited love or like broken promises, and that it just enrages you. But really, when that comes up, it's really, I think, an invitation to look into the sadness. As I keep shuffling, I'm getting the same cards, Queen of Wands in reverse and the Three of Swords. I think that they're asking you to make sure that you're still allowing yourself to be seen. I know that you may not want to, especially if you're dealing with feelings of anger or sadness or disappointment. I think, again, they're asking you to move forward intentionally. And so don't allow yourself to slip into a depression. Like, feel your feelings, but then get up and keep moving, I think that this is going to be cleared out more easily than I think you can anticipate with the Queen of Cups now. Again, feel your feelings, hold space for your emotions, witness your emotions so that you can allow yourself to witness the root of those things. And then I think really this comes down to healing, soothing that inner child part of you that may have that holds that blueprint closely, because that was the first blueprint given to you as a child. And so there's something about mothering yourself, or I really feel like a Mother Mary energy is coming through here, which if you've connected with her previously, that's coming through. This is about emotional alchemy, and there's power in witnessing your emotions, allowing others to witness you as well as you feel comfortable, obviously. But this is revealing a part of you that it's something that you push down very deeply. That's why it's developed into something of the shadow, where you may have been attracted to people. There could have been a magnetic pull from the shadow. That's why there was that's what they call a trauma bond, where you felt called to this person, or they felt called to you. And then now all of a sudden that's being cleared out. And the Queen of Wands keeps wanting to come out in the reverse. So clearly it's deeper than anger. That's what I'm feeling. It's deeper than anger. It's deep sadness, deep disappointment, feeling not seen, feeling not cared for, feeling like, it affects your solar plexus or your sacral. Or I just saw a video too that's coming to mind about clearing the pelvic floor energetically through somatic healing. So like breath work, movement. And she was saying that you may find physical symptoms where, like, a lot of women, they may deal with like PCOS or hormonal imbalances, or like unexplained weight gain, or all these things. And it's your body trying to like signal to you that there are stuck emotions within the fascia, within like your cellular body, that needs to be released. But it's only through witnessing. It feels like slowing down, moving intentionally. Intentional movement makes a lot of sense with the Chariot and the Knight of Pentacles. Intentional movement with the body will help you to move forward. And now we have the Five of Cups on the bottom of the deck in the Strength card. I feel like this is just confirming what I said, is that there may be a lot of emotion that's stuck within the body because you've had to be really strong. You haven't had the time or the space to feel through your emotions and really process them. And I think that they're inviting you to explore the concept. I'm getting full body chills, that there's a lot of strength required to be flexible and to be vulnerable. And that's how it ties into this feeling of detaching and accepting, even though the situation may be disappointing, but it's helping you get to the root of something, which I think it's going to create a lot of space in your energetic field. I think that you may also feel or see a physical transformation in like how your body looks. I feel like you may hold judgments against yourself due to these situations. It's like distorted judgments that you cast upon yourself to try to fill in the blanks of a story. Maybe, again, like if things are being removed from your life, or people are falling out of your life, like dropping like flies kind of thing, and then you try to fill in the gaps of the story, but instead of accepting and surrendering to whatever that is, meaning that there's a higher plan, that, again, you don't even have to come up with a reason, because even I'm trying to go to, maybe it's out of alignment, or maybe it's this, or maybe it's that. Really, it's just coming to the acceptance and the surrender that there's a higher plan, and accepting that and allowing yourself to release it. Yes, and as I say that, we have the Hierophant on the bottom of the deck, the God card. There's a higher plan. And I think that caring for yourself in this moment, while you're kind of in the middle space, is really important, because my mind just went so blank. So that's like literally how it could be the High Priestess. Like, that's literally how it could be. They're asking you to get really into like your spiritual bag right now. Like, you may have been really focused on the 3D, or building something with someone, or helping someone with something, and now all of a sudden that's just gone, and there could be a lot of confusion. But with the High Priestess, that's the thing. It's like, how to tune into the subtle energies, and it's not about figuring it out, because the high priestess knows a lot, but she also knows that she does not know everything, and she doesn't need to know everything. There's also such like a deep level of trust and understanding that there are things unseen and there are things that we are not supposed to see, you know? And so this could be one of those moments where things are happening that you are not supposed to see. As I'm shuffling, the high priestess is still there, and we have the 9 of cups. I think that this is actually going to help you with tapping into a deeper level of your spiritual gifts as well, because there's a wisdom in not knowing. There's a book that I have that's called The Wisdom of Not Knowing, and it talks about mysticism, and it talks about how there's so much to be found when you're not even looking for it, when you surrender. We have the Knight of Swords in reverse and the 4 of Pentacles. That's exactly what I'm talking about. This could have been a random Tuesday where all of a sudden there's no communication. All of a sudden, you know, something just stops. You know, you're not receiving any messages. You feel like you're not allowed to go looking for information. There's something about that too. Like, don't go looking for information, because that represents the 4 of Pentacles, holding on to something, trying to attach to something, trying to fill in the gaps of a story. And I really feel like this is bringing you into a deeper level of your divine feminine energy, where there's surrender and you're trusting in something greater than you to deliver something better for you. That's a bar. Let me get some more cards. Hold on. So now this is definitely bringing me to the root. It may not be the exact thing that's happening for you, because every person's situation is going to be different. But I do see the 3 of Swords, the 4 of Wands in reverse, and the Judgment in reverse on the bottom of the deck. This is telling me that the root of your heartbreak is related to a blueprint that was given in the home. As a child, you don't really have, especially for like traumatic experiences, or when you haven't got your needs met, or when you didn't feel loved, there was no reason for that, but the brain tries to fill in the gaps, and you may have, like we were kind of talking about before, tried to fill in the gaps yourself. And so Spirit is revealing this negative thought pattern that can be healed at the root, where you love on yourself, you love on that inner child part of you that feels rejected, that is trying to cope with the rejection, trying to cope with feeling, not loved, essentially. And I feel like if you can look at how your life has gone as you've grown from that child version of you into the adult version of you now, you can see that everything happened for a reason, even the traumatic things, right? And I mean, there's a process to moving through all of those things. But for the most part, I think that if you're listening to tarot, if you're into the void and everything that we talk about here, that you can zoom out. You have the ability to zoom out and see that everything happened for a reason. So in this moment, when that inner child version of you is being triggered in this way, you may be challenged to actually take a look at that and see how you may have been perpetuating stories that may not be fully true, but in a way that doesn't even benefit you, you know? Like, literally, you could be telling yourself stories that they make you feel worse. But it's because something didn't add up in your brain, you know? But that's where the technology of your heart, the strength of your heart, the understanding of your heart, the intelligence of your heart is stronger than the mind. And you're able to tap into that for yourself. And again, the High Priestess wants to pop out, and the Ace of Cups in reverse. This is where you pour into yourself. You are healing yourself in this moment. And Spirit is putting you in a space where you can really tap into this ability, because Judgment in reverse wants to pop out again. There's something about you not understanding your ability to truly do this. And maybe this is something that Spirit has been asking you to do for quite a while. We have 444 on the timer. They've been trying to send you signs about this process or inviting you into this process. And I don't think that it can be avoided anymore, in the way that where you're going to need to feel deserving, because you are deserving, and you're going to need to feel confident. And I think that there's something about trusting yourself, because I think that really when we're thinking about a higher plan, it's not a God outside of us. God exists within us. The Creator exists within us. So really what we're doing is tapping into our higher selves that has the higher plan. So do you trust yourself? Can you mother yourself and trust that everything is happening for a higher plan that you are already low-key privy to, but just in this moment, you're being asked to heal that part of yourself. And this is a part of the higher plan. We have Justice and the Hermit. This is a time for you to integrate and I think relieve yourself of the imbalances in your life and the energetic density within your aura, your field, that attracts situations that keep you out of balance, that keep you feeling not tapped into your higher self, or not trusting or surrendering to something greater than yourself, to energies of control, or and even with the Hermit card, it's like the Hermit, they go into their cave to have deeper realizations. It's a card of Virgo. It's a lot of thinking. Justice is a Libra card. It's an air sign, it's a lot of Mercury air energy. And so they're asking you to relieve the mind space of the stories that you tell yourself that keep yourself in a karmic energy. And I believe that without you having to know the details of every single thing, they're actually revealing the true culprit of the attraction point of these situations. It's not really about getting to the bottom of what's happening outside of you, but it's about freeing yourself with the Knight of Wands and the King of Wands in reverse, Seven of Swords in reverse. What part of your ego identity has kept you in a loop where there's these addictive patterns that you run back to the same thing, that you attract in the same thing? And we have the King of Swords on the bottom of the deck. This is a clear mind, an intentional mind, a clear communicator, someone that believes in truth and integrity. It's very opposite of the Seven of Swords. That's why the Seven of Swords is in reverse. It's realizing that there have been lies that you have told yourself to fill in the gaps of certain situations. And so that's not using the power of your mind to your greatest benefit. This is a time to rewrite the stories that you tell yourself. And I know that we say this a lot, but really there's a sacred pause that's happening between you coming into contact with new people that reflect the new story, and new experiences that reflect the new story that you tell yourself. You're in the middle of co-creating right now. But it feels like, someone has a pencil and they're erasing. You have the Hangman, the Eight of Swords, and the Hierophant in reverse. You are it's like null and void certain contracts or certain thought forms that have been repetitive in your mind, and you're erasing them and you're deciding to rewrite them. So you could be doing a lot of subconscious healing. Again, like this is stuff that lives within your body. So you could be listening to subliminals. You could, again, getting into your mystic bag, doing somatic breath work, healing, being very intentional with what you decide to listen to. Even though I'm a diviner and a reader, I would encourage this collective to pull back on listening to readings if they are perpetuating particular stories that you have told yourself. And so if this is something that you don't feel like is helping you to gain a new perspective, I encourage you to exit out. But same thing for if you're just on your feed and you see content that perpetuates a story and you're able to recognize that, that's your opportunity to fix your universal algorithm, not just the algorithm on your feed, but fix your universal algorithm, because every time you interact with something, you tell the universe, yes, that is something that I want in my reality, you know? And so with the moon card here, there's something that has been hidden, or again, certain information is kept from you at this time to allow you to practice surrender and to, I feel like they're saying, stop jumping to conclusions, because the conclusions that you jump to aren't even in your benefit. With the Seven of Wands on the bottom of the deck, I think that they're asking you to really rise and understand that you're in a position of power right now, that this is not punishment. This is to put you back into a position of power. And now we have the King of Pentacles, super stable. Like, you're in a position of power. This is like, you're going to be super grounded through this. I think that there could be more opportunities that are long lasting built from this, because once you address the root, you will feel safe in your body. You will feel safe in your mind. And so you'll attract situations, people, experiences that are grounded in this 3D, that plan to stay, because it feels like with the old stories, with the jumping to conclusions, it all leads to you not feeling deserving, or that things don't last, or that you won't get what you need. Again, going back to the inner child issue, is not getting the love that you need, not getting the resources that you need, in that energy of lack. The King of Pentacles is the exact opposite of that. He is abundant, okay? And so when you address the actual root, you rid yourself of that blueprint in your energetic field, and then you attract situations that are here to stay, because you feel like you're deserving of experiences, people, and things that are here to stay, that can actually sustain something. 222 on the timer, and I just pulled another card, and we have the Six of Pentacles. You attract people, experiences that are generous, that have something to give to you, that can invest in you, that want to nurture you. This is not only receiving the love that you need, but in a grounded way, showing up in a grounded way, in a generous spirit. I think they're just reconfirming what I was saying about not jumping to conclusions. I see the Fool in reverse. It's either hesitation, or I feel like that's kind of like making, again, like a jumping to conclusions type of energy. We have the Nine of Swords, the Emperor in reverse, and the Four of Cups. You have not realized how long you've had the pattern of trying to control a situation by jumping to a conclusion and missing the mark, missing what was actually being offered to you, which was the opportunity to surrender control, to detach, and to allow things to be as they are, and to make room for what is meant for you. 2, 3, 4 on the timer. It feels like to move in order rather than to jump to a conclusion. With the King of Cups and the Ten of Swords, I know that you have experienced quite a lot emotionally, but it feels like this is a wrapping up of a cycle that is very triggering for you emotionally. I feel like you've gone through this so many times. It may have been, multiple people with the Ten of Swords. It feels like you've experienced betrayal before, to where you have now mastered what feels like the art of detachment, so that you can't be emotionally triggered in this way anymore, because you're actually addressing the root, which is healing and providing a safe space for the inner child to express their disappointment and to see what the disappointment is trying to teach you. We have the Six of Cups and the Sun in reverse. That is definitely highlighting to me that, and then the Two of Swords and the Eight of Wands in reverse in the Moon, you haven't been noticing that the truth is that the real truth that you're searching for, where people are, where it feels like there's stories that are left untold, or ghosting energy or anything like that. It feels like the real thing that you're searching for is trying to get clarity on why this is triggering you so much. It's not really about what they had to say or what they didn't say or what they should have said or how you would have handled it or not. With the Six of Cups and the Sun in reverse and the Two of Swords, the inner child has been trying to signal to you, signal through the disappointment, through feeling depressed, through feeling sad, that, hey, I'm trying to talk to you right now. And with the Moon and the Eight of Wands in reverse, it's a message that's coming from inside the house, from the subconscious, again, in your energetic field, even through attracting these situations and feeling disappointed by them over and over again, that what you're really searching for is communication, clear communication from your inner child. You're trying to understand what the inner child is trying to tell you. And that's the true gap in communication. It's not outside of you where somebody may have left you hanging. It's that the inner child wants you to understand that something is disappointing, that the story that was programmed into you does not reflect the true freedom and happiness and deservingness, if that's a word, deservingness, that is like your natural birthright, to feel at peace, happy, cared for, seen, loved, heard. Did I say cared for? Yeah, cared for. It's something that's very deep. And so I feel like Spirit is saying that I hit the nail on the head with the Ace of Wands, that if you're someone that has experienced people just dropping out of your life out of nowhere, or you feel that betrayal, they're asking you to go deeper, go really deep with it. And I don't think, if you're still focused on if communication is going to come in from someone, or maybe there's even been this energy, again, they're bringing me back to like, if you listen to a lot of readings and you think that this person is coming back, or you receive a lot of messages about this person coming back, and that's triggering for you, especially after a long period of time has passed, Spirit is saying that they're trying to get you to see that it's like a similar pattern to you feeling let down by the false hope, the false promises of, like, it feels like false prophets in a way. Like you look up to someone, or you're looking up to them for some type of care or nurturing, because that was the program from your childhood, right? Like you look to your guardians, your parents, your care providers to provide something to you, and when it never comes, that is what is programmed into you. And so even those messages that may have not led to that outcome were ultimately a part of the divine plan. I know that might be hard to hear, but I think that it reveals, really, like, if you really struggle with like an obsessive thought pattern, or if you really struggle with feeling like you have it all figured out before you've even had a conversation, that's a defense mechanism, And I feel like we have the Ace of Cups in reverse now. This is really asking you to heal the womb space. There may be a lot of trauma that's stored in the fascia. And I think also drink a lot of water right now, because you may be moving through a lot. I think like take things slow. Again, you're getting into like your healing bag, but healing of yourself right now, especially if you show up for a lot of people. I feel like this is going to clear up your mind so much, because you're going to be able to choose what you actually want now. You're going to see something so clearly. And I think that there's going to be a level of detachment that you've this is like helping you to master detachment, which will also help you with mastering any blocks that you may have regarding money and finances, and bringing things into the 3D, because we have the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. This could also allude to, and now we have the King of Pentacles upright, definitely helping you to address anything that has to do with like money blocks. But this could, again, this is about feeling deserving. So when you pour that love into yourself, you feel deserving. This will also help flip that Queen of Wands, which also alludes to a block within the subconscious because it's the feminine energy. This wound could be specifically around a mother figure that may have not shown up for you or provided the things that you needed to feel safe, to feel taken care of, again, to feel loved. They may have not been able to provide those things, or they chose not to, whatever the case may be. You didn't receive what you were supposed to or that you needed as a child. And so there's a feeling not worthy. I didn't want to say that word, but worthless is what came through. And so that's a big block, and this is something that is going to help you to transform your 3D reality. So I'm sorry if that sounded so gross. That was like, I have a runny nose, but Six of Swords, the Tower, and the High Priestess. You don't even realize, like, Spirit is saying that this is such a big transition. This is such a big transition, and it's helping to unlock something so sacred within you. It's like, again, the wisdom of not knowing. Like, that's what this reading is going to be called, the wisdom of not knowing. Because when you can really detach, and not from a place of like ghosting or avoidance or something like that, when you can actually detach from the outcome and you can trust, but then at the same time, like what's for you is for you. So there's no need for anxiety. There's no need to try to control. There's no need to try to figure out how. There's something about just being able to set the intention and release it and detach from it. And we have the Death card in reverse. Something about a big transition. The Fool in reverse. That big transition of... The Fool in reverse was giving me the energy of, jumping to conclusions. But I think you're realizing that everywhere you were jumping was not leading you to where you needed to be. The stories that you told yourself, the Ten of Cups in reverse, it wasn't making you happy. But then we have the Nine of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck. You are in a good position right now. This is not punishment. I think I have to reiterate that it's not punishment. Even the time that you feel like has been, I don't want to say wasted, but that's how you may have interpreted it at one point, like time wasted, maybe even holding on to the potentials or the words of something. Again, it's related to familial patterning, a deep inner child wound, and you have the ability, you're showing up as a mystic for sure, like a high priestess. You have the ability to shift this energy by allowing yourself to feel that disappointment and pour into yourself in the ways that you did not receive when you were younger. And you are deserving of this. You're going to start to feel deserving of this as you continue to practice this, as you give yourself the slow mornings, as you stretch, as you do the breath work, as you witness the emotions, as things are released, as you're doing these things. This is allowing you to really tap into a deep level of feminine healing that is not only, I feel like this has definitely affected your life, but I feel like this is 333 on the timer, and I cut the deck to the Ten of Pentacles in reverse, definitely affected your bloodline. So this is why it feels so heavy, or why it's happened so many times, because this is something that you're helping your ancestors to move through as well. We have the Four of Swords. So now I feel like they're like, okay, you can go to sleep. You've delivered the message. 3355 on the timer. Whatever angel number that is for you. But I feel like, we have, it's time to rest, to heal the heart. And I think that this is how you turn the karmic wheel, or you change timelines. You turn the wheel and enter into a new timeline through this time that they're giving you. They're gifting you time to move through this. And I feel like that's also something that's coming through, is like with the Nine of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck, like you're in a good position. Like, don't even worry about like things happening in 3D. Again, we're showing the Two of Pentacles and the Three of Pentacles. Like people, I remember mentioning, I just got full body chills. I remember mentioning that people are going to be showing up in your life that want to help you, that want to assist you. And so there's something about being vulnerable and being able to ask for what you need, you know? I think as the adult, you have the ability to do that. And I was thinking about this earlier in the message about how the inner child, like depending on how young this wound could have been, as a baby, you don't have the words to explain exactly what you need, right? But like as a baby, to be able to survive, you need certain things. And so you just cry, and you just cry, and you just cry until you get the attention of one of your caregivers. And that's kind of what this feels like. So it feels like something that you may not even have recollection of. Like this is something that lives within the body from like this could be like even birth trauma, you know, like things that like again live within the cellular DNA. And so you have to like take your time with it, be patient with yourself, and also know that you're taken care of in the 3D as you're moving through this, because your ancestors are supporting you. Your spirit team is supporting you in doing this work, because it's deep work. 1212 on the timer, deep work. And so like if you need more time, if you need to move slower, like they're gifting you that. They're gifting you resources. And I think as an adult, rather than, you know, the inner child version of you that may have only had the ability to cry, to scream, to get attention in that way by, you know, feeling anger, disappointed. Again, going back to the anger, you might have thrown tantrums, or this is your inner child's way of throwing a tantrum through like these feelings of anger. You can actually ask for what it is that you want. And so there's something about you moving into the energy of feeling deserving of asking and receiving what you want, because now you're the adult that has the tools to communicate what it is that you want. I feel like this was a huge breakthrough. As I move the Nine of Pentacles, I see the star. There's a lot of hope. There's a lot of healing here. Again, you're taken care of. Your spirit team is very proud of you. I think that this is one of the readings that I'm going to post like sooner than later. I have a bunch of them, but this feels very relevant. And so I hope that this really helps you. And if you're wanting to dive further into this, you can subscribe to the Void newsletter on Substack, and you're considered to be on the wait list for when personal readings become available. And if you're wanting to dive even further than that and get like access to sacred rituals or teachings or more collective messages, you can become a member of the Void and get exclusive access. Thank you for being here with me. I really appreciate you sharing your time and energy with me, and I hope that you have a beautiful, blessed day.